The 1989 Batman film needs no introduction, as it is by far one of the best Batman films ever made. But one thing you probably didn't know was that a comic book adaptation was made based on the movie, and today we'll be taking a look at the differences between the movie and the comic book. Let's begin. In the beginning, after a few pedestrians get mugged by two men, they get to the rooftop of the building to count the money they just stole, and then Batman reveals himself behind them, spreading his cape which looks like bat wings. This frightens them and they shoot him down, which causes no effect against Batman as he easily takes them down. He then tells one of them to tell his friends about him.
What are you? I'm Batman.
In the comic though, after the two muggers are counting the money they stole, we are shown a small glimpse of Batman walking towards the muggers, then fully revealed after they try running away once they hear someone walking towards them. The mugger tries to shoot him but misses in this version, and Batman takes him down moderately different. But when he holds the mugger over the building, he instead tells him this: "You're trespassing, rat breath." Trespassing? You don't own the night. Tell your friends. Tell all your friends. I am the night. In the movie, when Jack Napier shoots Batman, he deflects it with his gauntlet, which backfires and Jack Napier gets hit, which makes him fall off into the green chemical that turns him into the Joker. But in the comic, Batman deflects the bullet by countering with his cape. The bullet still deflects back to Jack Napier, and he falls into the green chemical. But also, the moment the police tell Batman to hold it right there, in the movie, Batman immediately drops a smoke pellet to escape without being seen. But in the comic, he puts his hands up and waits till they reach him, and then he drops two smoke pellets which he already had in each hand. When Jack Napier escapes from the chemical plant, he has a doctor treat his injuries, and in the movie, after looking at himself with a hand mirror, he breaks it and suddenly begins laughing while walking away, and his face is revealed by the time he introduces himself as the Joker to Carl Grissom. In the comic, his face is revealed when he begins laughing after he sees his own reflection. When the Joker interrupts the TV news report, in the movie he shows us a tied up man as an example of using brand X, and with his Joker brand he shows us another man that's been exposed to it, resulting to his death with a huge grin. But in the comic, there's only one man. He is blindfolded and the Joker spoon feeds him the chemical, which instantly puts a permanent grin on his dead face. After Batman rescues Vicky Vale from the Joker's unexpected date, in the comic version, Batman instantly appears and takes Vicky away from the Joker. The Joker's henchmen don't follow the Batmobile, and both Batman and Vicky Vale make their way towards the Batcave. She asks him why did he bring her there, and Batman gives her a file with information regarding the items that can create the Joker's poison. But she still thinks that he could have just given the press this information himself, and he agrees. So he holds her close to him and gasses her, and tells her, "I'm sorry, I was wrong to bring you here." I think this bit of extra dialogue was added because the car chase scene was not included, and there's a part in that scene where Vicky takes a picture of Batman's identity. However, even in the comic book version, he still tells her that there's something else he needed from her, but then he gasses her and that's it. Moving on, when Bruce goes over to see Vicky at her place, they get interrupted by the Joker and his henchmen. In the movie, Bruce was in a different room and the Joker didn't know that Bruce was there with Vicky Vale until he reveals himself. But in the comic, they're both in the living room when the Joker walks in unexpectedly. Luckily, Bruce manages to sneak the metal plate in his suit without them noticing, so he still manages to get shot without any fatal injuries. We move on to the moment where the Joker is giving away free money to the citizens of Gotham. But unlike the film version, here we are actually shown that the money was fake, as it had a picture of the Joker on the $1 bills. Something he actually mentioned to Vicky Vale when she asked him what is it he wanted on their sudden date.
What do you want?
My face on the $1 bill.
The next change is that the moment Batman flies directly towards the Joker, here the Joker did not give him a chance to shoot, as he pulled his gun out first and shot the Batwing down. When Batman reaches the top of the cathedral, the first henchman that attacks Batman is wearing a blade on each leg. I'm not sure how he expected to walk with those blades on. But Batman counters by using this metal extended device that he uses to hit his opponent with and keep a distance. But he hits the guy on his crotch. And just to make matters worse, the bald goon jumps behind Batman like he does in the movie, and Batman tosses him on top of the goon with the leg blades, and together they fall to their deaths. The final goon that gives Batman a hard time gets taken down in a very similar way as in the movie, and right away Batman begins pummeling the Joker, leading to the same conclusion where the Joker pulls both Batman and Vicky off the cathedral, and they have to hold on to the edge of the building while the Joker laughs hysterically while he awaits for the chopper to arrive. As soon as it does, he grabs onto the ladder, and the henchmen tell the Joker to hurry up as a police chopper is headed their way. This is something that wasn't seen in the movie version. But another thing that's different here is that Batman uses a rope to tie one end to the gargoyle statue and the other end to a batarang. And when Vicky asks him what is that, he replies, "I suppose the media would label it a batarang." Another difference here is that Batman and Vicky aren't hanging over the edge. They have enough space to stand on the ledge. Batman then throws a batarang at the Joker, which wraps around his right leg, but the moment the Joker can no longer hold on and falls to his death, in the movie, the Joker struggles to hold on for a while, then inevitably falls to his death, followed by Batman and Vicky Vale falling off the edge, and they're saved thanks to the grappling gun. They then hang there suspended for a while. But in the comic, as soon as the gargoyle breaks off the cathedral, it breaks the platform that Batman and Vicky are standing on, making them drop, and at the same time the Joker is instantly pulled off the ladder. So all three characters fall off the cathedral at the same time. Batman grabs Vicky Vale and uses his grappling gun to swing them through a window as the Joker falls to his death. Commissioner Gordon and the Gotham police arrive at the scene and find the Joker's body, but also in the comic book version, the police find another body nearby, and it turns out to be Alexander Knox with Batman's cape. This is a good inclusion, as in the movie, the last time we see Knox in the parade, he gets ran over by Vicky Vale, and he's shown to be okay by the end of the film. But in the comic, seeing as Batman put his cape on Knox, this must mean that if Knox was in danger from the Joker toxin, then perhaps Batman was able to help him. Either that or he needed to distract the police. The last two things that are different from the movie is that Vicky kisses Knox on the lips instead of on the cheek. And before the credits roll, we see Batman swinging over the skylight instead of standing on the edge of a building rooftop like in the film. I imagine if the movie ended the same way as in the comic, the credits would roll after Batman swings in front of the camera. So those were the differences from the comic book adaptation of the 1989 Batman film. There are also some moments of dialogue that occur after certain actions have took place, but it works here because they don't have much dialogue that they can use like in the movie, and it needs to be summarized for the comic book version. This happens with most movie comic book adaptations, but it's not a problem. A lot of scenes weren't included since the comic had to be a short and summarized version of the film. The artist did a fantastic job. Every character is recognizable. I wish this guy continued making Batman comics with the same characters resembling the actors that portrayed them in the movie. Maybe this way we could have gotten Harvey Two-Face portrayed by Billy D. Williams. I've always been a fan of the movie, so even though this comic book is just showing us what happens in the movie, but in a comic book style, it still captures more than the rendition of the film. The art style is amazing, it's accurate. Jerry Ordway is an amazing artist. You can recognize every character in this comic. Even the environment looks identical to the way it was portrayed in the film. And it's cool to see slight differences instead of an exact replica of the film. What's even better to me as a fan is that I get to see scenes from the film with different camera angles. Like the moment when the Joker pulls Batman and Vicky Vale off the cathedral. Also, there are a lot of comic book movie adaptations that censored the violent scenes, which is a horrible thing to do as comic books tend to not be censored. The beauty of comic books, mangas, and manhwas is that they will do whatever they want to do, which is exactly what I want to see. Censorship interferes with the creator's vision, and I'm not okay with that. But I'm glad to see that this comic book adaptation was not toned down. It kept the charm of the film, and if you're a fan of the comic, well, if you're a fan of comics or the movie, then you won't want to miss out on this one. Next time we'll take a look at the comic book based on the sequel, Batman Returns. As for now, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, be sure to leave a like, share with others, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you'd like to see some extra content, or you'd like to see your name at the end of the videos, then feel free to support the channel by donating a single dollar to my Patreon. There are also additional perks for donating more than $1. The link is on the description, along with the link to my Facebook page, Tumblr, DeviantArt, and Twitter. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.